G'day guys, Firebird here, and this is going to be my first ever YouTube upload and my first ever Let's Play video. So before I jump in, there's a couple of things that I want to do. Now first, I'd like to sort of introduce myself a little bit and explain what you can sort of expect both on my channel and also from this Let's Play series. So on my channel, I'm going to be going through a range of different games between indie titles to AAA titles, and doing a Let's Play series between 5 and probably 15 videos in length, depending how long it takes to go through. With games like FTL, which you're about to see, the series might be shorter, as each video will likely be its own playthrough, whereas with longer titles and AAA titles, such as any of the Bethesda games, you'll see me do a longer series of videos because I'm going to try and complete the story if possible within the allotted time frame. Now, what you'll see in this specific Let's Play of FTL is I'm going to use the first video to sort of explain the basics of FTL, but because this is a game that's been out for nearly 5 years, I'm going to assume that a lot of people watching this now already know how the game works, and since all the introductions to FTL are kind of already out there on YouTube, I'm not going to try and reinvent the wheel and do that myself. Instead, I'm just going to sort of focus on trying to provide entertaining commentary while also trying to obviously complete objectives. And the other thing you're going to see me do here, and it's sort of pains me to do this, but I don't have that much completed anyway, is I'm going to delete my profile, and this is going to mean that we go back to just having the first ship that you start with, and we're going to try and unlock them together progressively. The other thing I'm going to sort of do in this Let's Play is, if you guys leave comments below saying that you liked the video and that you subscribed, then I'm going to use your YouTube name as my individuals' names on my ship, so you can kind of feel like you're coming on the trip with me if you like, and that's hopefully going to make it a little engaging for you guys and a little bit entertaining as well. So I'm going to get started on this now. I'm going to hit new game, and we're going to use the Kestrel, which is the first ship that you start with. I'm going to use the next couple of minutes before jumping into the game to just sort of explain the basics of FTL like I said I would, and after that I'm just going to play through. You guys can watch me play. I'll explain my decisions and everything, but I won't really explain the game's core mechanics. So if you are looking for sort of a basic how to play FTL, this series probably isn't going to be for you, and I say that honestly, as much as I'd love you to watch my videos. Maybe go and check out a how to play FTL, and then come back if you like and check out my videos from there. So just before we get started, I'll show you, this is this ship layout. You unlock different layouts by completing different achievements. So you can see these achievements here will allow me to unlock layout B. So have 6 unique aliens at once on the ship, have 11 systems installed on the ship at once, or repair back to full health when only having 1 health remaining. So we're going to have a crack at probably 2 of these because I need to complete 2 for the next layout. And what different layouts will do is both change the shape of the ship in terms of where the doors are located, but it'll also sort of change what subsystems are near each other. So speaking of the systems and the subsystems, I'm going to go through them from left to right here. So we've got the engines, which you normally keep manned, and this increases your evade chance down here, sorry, your dodge chance, and also the speed at which your engine charges up. Now your engine charges up to escape from combat if you need to get away, particularly if the fight's not going well for you. So having a few points in engine early can really be handy, especially if you're sort of running into difficult fights. Oxygen here, that obviously keeps oxygen on the ship. The higher the level, the more, or the higher the rate at which oxygen spreads. So this becomes important when you have breaches. So any damage to the hull can cause a breach. So you'll see sort of a rip in the canvas, if you like, and that'll sort of bring up red shading, which, well, hopefully you won't see, but you will see, means that there's no oxygen in the room. So by increasing this, we can sort of allow oxygen to disperse more. It's not really a prioritized upgrade very often, but we'll sort of play it by ear and see whether we need this one. Weapons here, obviously the more points we have in weapons, the more weapons we can use during our battles. So you start with these 2 here, the Artemis and the Burst Laser. The Artemis fires a missile and is really handy for getting past shields and allowing the laser, which fires 2 shots, to sort of do damage to different systems depending on what we target. So I'll sort of show you more how those work when we get into battle, because it's a lot easier to explain them on the fly. The 4th one across, so you've got your med bay here, pretty self-explanatory, allows any injured crewmates to go get healed. needs power. All of these need power to run. So the other aspect, which I'll show you in a second once we get started, is the battery power, and the amount of battery power we have determines how many points we can sort of put on these, and each one provides different benefits. So if I just sort of give you a quick glimpse, if we have 2 extra points in shield, we'll have a second shield instead of 1. We'll have a high dodge chance and FTL charge time in engines, better oxygen dispersion, more system power in weapons, and so on. So shields here, you start with 1. It's pretty key to upgrade early and get to 2, which we'll try and do depending on how much scrap we get. Doors are here, so first level are normal, second doors are blast doors, which basically means that when we have invaders on our ship, they can't get through them so easily. It takes them a bit of time to sort of pry them open, and then you can improve them to improve blast doors and super blast doors accordingly. The last 2 that we have here are sensors. So the first one lets you see everything on your ship, the second one sees everything on their ship, and then the third one sees how far up their weapons are charged, so you can use that to kind of pull off really good timings in terms of charging your shields and evading attacks. And the final one here is your piloting. So you need to pilot the function, so you always need a guy there, and you always need 1 point in piloting. If you have a second point, you get 50% evasion. If you have a third point, you have 80% evasion. So that's really handy as well. But as you can see, the price of those upgrades sort of increases pretty steeply as well. So we'll sort of see how much scrap we earn early on, and we'll prioritize each of these as we go. And I'll sort of explain my decision-making process too. Anything else important here? You can obviously name your ship. If you guys have any creative names you want for ships, I'm happy to take that on board and use that for future episodes. So same with being a crew member. If you want to get involved, leave a comment below, tell me what you liked about the video, and tell me what you didn't like about the video as well. Like I said, this is my first video, and I would look forward to feedback. Hopefully there's some good feedback, but also need obviously constructive feedback in order to improve as well. So whatever you feel is necessary, I'd appreciate if you could leave a comment. Last 2, difficulty, easy. Pretty easy, it's good for doing achievements. I'm going to start on normal and see how we go. If we get absolutely smoked on this first video, I might drop it down to easy, and hard is extremely hard as well. Start, and then there's just basically the DLC was the advanced edition. They gave that to everyone for free. We'll keep it enabled because it just adds a lot of quests. It adds a new race, it adds new weapons. There's a whole heap of content. So if we start with these 3 crew members, these 2 weapons, we don't have drones or augmentations to begin with, and we're ready to get started. Give me 1 second. So sort of just explains hotkeys and how to play. So weapons are 1 to 2, 1, 2, 3, 4, and the drones are 5 to 7. We don't have drones yet. I'll show you that later. So we're going to continue. So we're ready to go. You can see our health up here. I'll just talk you through the user interface quickly as well. This is our health. This is our hull. Gets to 0, we lose. There's no second chance or anything like that. This is scrap. This is our currency. We use this to buy from the shop. We can give it to other people as part of the randomly generated quests that come up. There's a lot of uses for scrap. We can use it to upgrade ship anywhere by clicking this menu. These are all the upgrades and the price of each one. This is the reactor, which is the power I was talking about before. We can also see our crew members here. You can have up to 8, and you can see their skill abilities here as well. So they level up these just by doing their job. So we're going to save them in their current position, and they'll hopefully become better at those jobs. And if we get the opportunity early, we'll look to take on a few extra crew members as well, because it's really handy to have someone on weapons if you can, and also we'll have someone on weapons already. It's handy to have someone on shields as well, because it increases the charge rate of shields. And also it's good to have more people, because if we get boarded by enemies, we've got a better chance in a fight. And then here's our equipment here. So no drones installed at the moment. You can have up to 4 weapons equipped, and then you can also have up to 4 either weapons or drones saved in cargo. And this is handy for if you have a weapon that you don't necessarily want to equip and use, but you want to sell it when you next get to a shop. This is sort of your inventory down here. And these augmentations here can range from quicker weapon reload time to increasing the amount of scrap you get per fight. There's a lot of different augmentations. They all have some sort of benefit, but it depends at what cost you want to use it, because you've obviously only got the 3 slots here, and it can sort of get a little bit limited after that. So you really need to sort of prioritize, depending on the kind of run you've got and the kind of setup you've got, which augmentations we want to use in these slots. And I'll talk you through the decision making process there as well. Here we can see our evade chance and our oxygen. This is our shield here, so we have 1, as I said, 16 fuel, 8 missiles and 2 drones. So obviously fuel we need to, when we jump, I'll show you the map in a second. Missiles we'll need to use the Artemis. You can see down here it requires a missile. And drones, if we do get the drone system added to our ship, we'll need to use drone parts in order to use the different drones. So shields down here, we've currently got 2 points in it, which is the maximum, so that gives us the 1 bar. So every 2 bars gives us a shield. We've got 1 point in our engine. The med bay is powered. We're going to depower the med bay just because we sort of power it on demand. We don't need it at the moment. Oxygen, we've got 1 point, that's fine. We're going to charge up the missile launcher and the burst laser because they're our 2 key weapons. And then doors, piloting and sensors are all powered as well as they need to be. So with the extra power that we picked up by depowering the medbay, we're going to put it in this engine here, which makes our evasion or our dodge up to 10 from 5, and also our charge time increases as well. So that's pretty much everything. I'm going to show you the map quickly, and then I'm basically going to stop explaining the game for what it is and start explaining it for how I'm playing it and what decisions I'm making. So last little bit, here's the map. Your ship is always on a blue dot. The green dots are your options to go explore. These unvisited locations have different pop-ups and different events. They're all random. So we might see a fight, we might see someone who needs our help, we might see a store, we might see free money. You'll sort of pick that up as we go along. But basically you want to get to the exit before the Federation start to catch us, so they'll come in from the left. So we've got a fair bit of time. We'll get anywhere between 5 to 10 different stations before we get to the exit normally, but there are also events which can cause the Federation to come at us faster or slower than normal as well, so we may get more or less time in each sector. So in the first sector, it's a civilian sector to start with, but there are also hostile sectors and nebula sectors which sort of have different events located within them. By the time we get to the 8th sector, hopefully we'll have a strong enough ship to take on the final boss and give it a real good crack. And the only thing I didn't mention, which you may or may not have known about FTL, is that it is a roguelike. So if we die, we start again. No upgrades carry over, no crew carry over, none of their abilities carry over. So what we're trying to do, we want to complete the game, we want to have a crack at a couple of the achievements and unlock a new ship, so that each episode, hopefully, I mean it's not going to happen, but in theory it's nice to say that we'll have a new ship for each episode, but it's more going to be like 3 or 4 episodes on the same ship. But that way we can sort of keep mixing it up, and you guys can keep seeing how the unlock process works as well, and then the benefits and sort of the pros and cons of each different ship type. That's enough talking about the game. I'm going to get started now. We're going to go to this location here because, well, the Federation's nowhere near us. I want to sort of move as slowly as we can in terms of left to right, and then when they start to catch up with us a little bit, then we're going to make a beeline to the exit. Okay, so the area shows signs of a battle some time ago. There are scattered remains of ships, but one station appears to be intact. We can move in to examine the station or stay near the beacon. So we're full health, we're getting started, we're going to move in to examine and see what we come up with. You dock with the station to take a look inside. However, no sooner do you open the airlock than pirates burst in. Meanwhile, multiple warning signals go off on the bridge. Pirates have activated a remote planetary defense system and it's locking onto your ship. Okay. So the key thing with FTL is pausing all the time. So I can hit spacebar to pause and issue instructions as I deem fit. Now basically what I'm going to try and do is get this fight to occur in the med bay, because that'll mean that our 2 guys are being healed while they're fighting. So at the moment they're just going for our doors, which isn't that big a deal, but what I do want to do before they take doors down is open up all of this section down here, and what that's going to do is mean that there's no oxygen, no alcohol, no oxygen in any of these rooms here, and it means they're going to have to fight us here where we've got the advantage. So we'll lose the doors, but that's okay, we've already done what we needed to do with them. I'm more concerned about this weapon system that's having a crack at us at the moment. You can sort of see it's getting closer and closer. But this fight's going well. Our guys are losing a bit of health, but they're getting healed as well. No, they're not. That would have been embarrassing. I didn't have any power in the med bay, so I thought they were not quite going up as fast as they should be. Now I've powered at the med bay. You can see that while they're fighting, they're still gaining health, which is perfect. One of them's down already, won't be long before we take the other one down. This is a breach, like I was mentioning before. So we're going to take this guy down, and then we're going to need to fix the door system quickly. Actually, I'm going to get this guy to heal a little bit longer. So when there's two guys repairing, it obviously repairs quicker. So I'm going to get the doors back up so I can shut them, and we can get oxygen flowing back in these areas, and then they can have a crack at the breach. That's not good. Already we've taken a bit of damage to our piloting system. The oxygen is going to start to reflow there. This is going to be sort of an all hands on deck situation. So we really need to get the piloting fixed so we can get out of here, because while we're staying here we're getting hit randomly by this weapon that they started up. These guys are losing health because they were in a room without oxygen. Ferry's in the same boat as well. I'm actually not going to worry about that for now, just because we need to focus on getting out of here. So he's going to evacuate, and I'm going to send the two healthier dudes in. That was actually a close one. If I lost a crew member already, I probably would have restarted the run, just because we're only on our first stop. So we've got everything healed up. We're going to let the two guys heal up a little bit now. And our FTL is charging, as you can see up here. We've got someone manning the piloting system, so we will be getting out of here, hopefully without taking too much more damage, but there's a shot coming in now, and it's not going to be too pretty. Nearly there, and we're going to get out of there without waiting much longer. Hopefully we can land on a safe location so that we can just do the last little bits of fixing up that we need. You receive a message from a small convoy. They're looking for some military supplies and are offering to try to improve your reactor in exchange. That would really be good if we had the third drone part, because what they'd do is add a bar to our battery. That'd be great. We can't do it. We've got no option here. But the good thing is this is a peaceful station, as in we don't have a fight. So we can start to get these breaches patched up without the risk of, you know, being attacked any further, and also without the threat of weapons coming in. I'll just give it a second now. These guys are healing up pretty quickly. And there we go. So this button here, return to stations, basically you can sort of save crew layouts based on what they're good at, which is what we'll do as we add more and more people. And you save that with the / key, and then you get them to return to station by pressing enter. So we're going to depower the med bay, repower our engines, and make another jump. We're going to go here because we're still a fair few steps ahead of the Federation. Okay, so we can dock with a refueling platform, or we can ignore the refueling platform. We don't need fuel, we've got 13, and we don't have a lot of money anyway, so we're going to ignore, because my understanding is that there is a risk of taking damage when you try and dock that first time. Okay, so you can see here we've got a store, but if we go there we're going to be cutting it pretty close to the rebels, catching us up. If we head down there, yeah, I'm a little worried we're going to get caught by the rebels early. I know I called them the Federation earlier, that was my bad. The rebels. So we're going to hit this distress beacon instead, see if we can pick up a quest. You have encountered a refugee ship drifting in space. It looks as if it was fleeing the rebel advance and ran out of fuel. Its distress beacon is active, but you're not sure if anyone is on board. We're going to hail them. The vessel is relieved to hear from you. They are running low on supplies. They suggest a trade. 1 fuel for 4 missiles. Now that's a good trade. Okay, so we didn't pick up any scrap still. We've only got the 10, so a store wouldn't really be beneficial anyway. I think we're going to go to this one here, and then sort of work our way down to the exit in sort of a zigzag pattern, depending how quickly this rebel advances. Scanners are showing intelligent life forms on a nearby planet. No match for them can be found in the database. Let's investigate. You land a small shuttle in an enormous field, whose only occupants are small, brightly coloured, 6-legged, horse-like animals. Could they be what your scans picked up? Try to communicate peacefully, bring some of the creatures on board the cell, or leave. Let's bring some of the creatures on board the cell. No, not a good start at all. The seemingly docile creatures quickly turn violent when you show your hostile intentions. They stampede with terrifying force, trampling one of your crew before you have time to react. You fight your way back to the shuttle and prepare to jump, and we lose our weapons guy. So this is pretty bad. Really need to try and get some scrap and an extra crew member soon to make up for this poor start we've had. This is the love-hate relationship of FTL. I mean, it is one of my favourite games of all time, but this is where the randomly generated stations can really sort of bite you depending on what pops up. So I mean, that one there, I think we did actually take the wrong option. I say we, but I probably took the wrong option. I think if you try to communicate peacefully, there might be a better outcome. I'm not sure. I'd have to look a bit further into that. But even the fact that the first few stations we didn't really get a chance to fight anything at all. We just had some intruders and we took half the damage on our hull, which didn't give us any chance to earn any scrap. So we're pretty much going to exit this sector at the same position that we started at in terms of how our ship looks, probably with damage to our hull. And the enemies progressively get harder as we go further. So we're going to be a bit behind the 8 ball here. Let's see if we can work out a way to catch it up so that this run has a chance of being successful. You arrive near a damaged and dilapidated space station. It appears to be abandoned, but you detect faint life signatures on board. So let's board the station and look for survivors. All around you is a stench of death and decay. Okay, so we're not going to be getting any more crew members today. Suddenly, some of your crew bends over and starts retching violently. Some sort of disease must have wiped out this station. You pull back to the ship, but it looks like your crew member is not going to make it. Oh no. Oh no. This could be the worst start to an FTL run in history. I mean, I'm not going to restart it because we're already at 20 minutes in, and it's kind of been a good introduction onto both the game and my style of sort of let's playing. So I'm going to keep it for what it is. We're going to have a crack at this solo sort of mission, even though we're down to 1 person from 3. So we're going to have to take our engine guy to be the pilot, because you need at least 1 person in the pilot, and we've only got 1 person. So this is our life now. I'm going to save this as our station setup. Not that it'll be too hard to control our 1 person, and we're going to sort of try and stick with this, even though it's going to be pretty difficult. Alrighty, on to the next unvisited location. Scans show a remote settlement being blockaded by a pirate ship. The ship hastily messages you, stay out of this or you'll be next. Concentrate fire on. Okay, we're gonna have a crack at this guy because we really need the scrap. He's just got the 1 level of shield, so I'm going to pause to just quickly talk you through the game plan. Okay, we've been boarded as well. So I'm going to use that missile to take down the shield because shields don't block missiles. So that's going to take down hopefully the shield and allow our burst laser to do damage to their weapon system. Now if we take down the weapons and the shield, they're going to be pretty useless in terms of doing damage to us, and it should be a safe opportunity for us to just blast them down and wipe them out. That being said, while we've got this guy on boarded our ship, we're going to try and starve him out of oxygen. He's going to want to move in through these different areas, but so be it. We're safely away with our 1 crew member at the other end of the ship, so let's see how this plays out. If he takes out my engine, I won't be able to leave anyway. Our FTL will stop charging. Okay, shields have gone down. No, why am I doing that? I need them repaired, but I kind of want to keep the pilot as well. And we've lost a bar of weapons. So what we're going to do, we've still got 2 bars available, is we're going to depower the Artemis and repower the burst laser, and fire the first load of burst laser at the shields to keep them down, and the second load at the weapons. And if all 6 of these shots hit, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, we will take them out, but that's a little bit unlikely. But let's see how this goes. It's not the worst start, it's not the best start. I mean, we've lost shield, but he doesn't have weapons at the moment. Okay, so we're not going to get all 6 off on this go. We really, really don't want to lose our weapons here. Probably going to have to get this guy to go and fight. Okay, so shields are going to stay down, but we won't quite lose the burst laser just yet. So this is going to be an even enough fight. He should be able to buy us enough time. So they're down to 3 health, shields are injured, and weapons are injured. Let's shut these doors because the fight's not going to take place without oxygen anymore. So Ferry's actually going to win this fight. They've boarded him back because they realise that. Looks like they don't want to fight, they're trying to escape, so they're charging their engine. So we've probably got about 20 to 30 seconds of game time to wipe them out. and they've got 1 health left. So if we can just get a decent hit off here on something, we'll be able to take them out. And we've only really taken 3 or 4 hull damage, even though a lot of our systems are wiped out. Could have been a lot worse. So we've won our first fight. We're going to pick up a little scrap reward of 14 and a couple of missiles and a drone part. Okay, and with the pirates gone, you signal the station. We appreciate what you've done, but there'll be another ship looking to profit off our isolation soon enough. Sorry, we can't give you more. That's okay, it's another 9, and we picked up 3 fuel as well. So that was a pretty good exchange, I think. We lost 3 or 4 hull, and Ferry's going to have to sort of scramble around repairing a couple of systems, but you know, it could be worse. He might have leveled up fighting a little bit. Not really. Oh no, he didn't get the kill because they beamed him back. His piloting starting to level up, and his repairing starting to level up as well. We're going to sort of need him to be a jack of all trades in the end, I guess. Unless we can pick up a couple of crew members sometime soon, which I'm hoping we will. So the ferry's healed up. We can get the shields back online and head back to piloting. We'll be able to move on to the next station. Alright, we're good to go. I'll take a point out of there and put it in the missile because we'll need it for the next fight. We can probably, just trying to plan this out, we can probably head here, here, and then exit. So that'll give us 2 more stations, and you can trigger some events on the exit as well. So this will be okay. We're going to head here. If I can get to like 100 scrap by the time we leave this sector, that would be pretty good, all things considered. Considered we have 1 crew member at the moment. Scanners indicate that a battle is taking place nearby. It seems that someone is under attack by space pirates. We're going to have to try and help them because we really need all the resources we can get at the moment. So we're going to aid the civilian ship. You power up your weapons and engage the pirate ship. So similar strategy here. They don't have boarding this time, which is good. So we won't have to worry about that because boarding can be really hard to deal with, especially when you have 1 crew member. So we're sending this missile in on the shields, laser in on the weapon system. We've done a little bit of damage on both. They've used their ion blaster to disable our shields temporarily, but that's okay. I'm going to wait again, and I'm going to put on auto fire. I mean, it's not like I'm really going to have to worry about too much with 1 crew member, so I will be okay to fire the weapons each time. But once we get to hopefully back to 3 and above crew members, you can be managing a little bit too much sometimes. It's good to auto fire and just get the weapons to hit the same target again and again. I'm actually going to save a missile here, and I'll just talk you through that. So obviously missiles is a resource that you sort of want to maintain, whereas lasers don't use any. And because it's a 3-burst laser and they don't have shields at the moment, if all 3 shots hit, we'll get the win here without having to worry about using one of our missiles. So I haven't targeted anything there. I'm going to hit the first laser on the weapons so that even if we just get 2 hits, they can't hit us. And they're down and out, so that's good. We saved a missile there. Picked up 18, 2 fuel, and a drone part. Contact the civilian ship. Apparently the ship that was being assaulted was a silent vessel. They thank you for saving them and offer a small reward. This is okay, we're up to 72. Crew members go for between 40 and 60 at a shop if we want to recruit them. So if we can get to 100 and have enough for, on average, 2 more crew members next shop we get to, maybe 120 would be great, so that we can use 20 to repair our hull a little bit. We can sort of get back to where we should be, get back to par. We will be able to jump to this one before we hit the exit. Okay, an especially well-armed pirate ship approaches you. Hand over one of your crew members and the rest of you can go free unharmed. Well, I mean, this this isn't really an option when we have 1 guy. I'm not sure what would even happen if we hit 1, but I don't want to find out because it could end our run if we have to give our 1 guy over. So we'll never surrender our crew to slavers. Let's get ready to fight. Missile onto the shields. Burst laser onto the weapons. They've got a pretty heavy looking weapon, but it missed. This is great. Same logic as last time. Going to save the missile if we can, but we'll leave it fully charged, and if it's going to come down to that, we'll win the fight that way, but we should be able to take him out here. This is the perfect outcome. We surrender, take one of our slaves as tribute. If you destroy us, they'll all die anyway. And we've picked up a nice little dude who is going to now be our engine master. C.Y. Heng. Does he have any skills? No, that's okay. We'll train him up. So that's a pretty good outcome. Like we were saying just then, 50 scraps for a crew member. We just picked up one for free, and no other station in this sector has given us anywhere near 50 scraps. So that's a big win. I reckon we're going to be able to catch this up. Gonna jump to the exit now, see if there's anything here waiting for us. You've arrived at the long-range beacon. When the FTL drive is charged, you can jump to the next sector. Okay. We want to sell drone parts for scrap. I don't have the drone augment, but I don't want to get rid of all of them because some of the quests that pop up ask for them. So why don't we sell 3 for 12? That seems like a pretty good compromise, and we can look at our options for the next sector. So there's a Zoltan civilian sector or a Rock hostile sector. We're really not in a position with 2 crew members and a third of our hull to go into a hostile sector, so we're going to click this one. Far from Federation home space here in Zoltan territory, and it's not clear whether the authorities will have any goodwill remaining. Still, you have to push forward. So we're Federation, sorry, I was confusing before. I said that the Federation were going to chase us. We're Federation, we're fighting the rebels. Alright, so there's a lot of stars in this sort of sector up here. Would probably make the most sense for us to move this way, roughly, assuming that can connect. One thing you have to be careful of when you're playing FTL, if you're sort of a beginner player, is you can get stuck. So there might be a star here or here that doesn't actually let you get to this next section, and the only way through is here. You have to be really careful planning your run, because if you get to here and the rebels are right behind you, you have to go back and fight them every single step, and I promise you, you won't pull it off. So we're going to hit this one here and get started on Sector 2. We receive a transmission. Sorry sir, this is nothing personal, but we're under orders. The rebel ship weapons go hot. Right, we're up for another fight. They've got a lot of systems, so they're going to have a drone nibbling away at our shield the whole time. And they've got a couple of weapons as well. So the missile miss, it's a huge win because it would have done damage to our piloting. We've managed to take down their shields and their weapons there. I'm going to use the missile again because they've got a fair bit of health and I want to get them down. So it would make sense for us next to probably use something on this drone to stop it from hitting us if the shields go down. And I reckon I'm going to put the missile on the drone and keep the burst laser on their weapons so that even if they are repairing them, they have to start from scratch after this run. And missile goes off and hits. They're powering up and trying to get out, so next thing we target will be the engine. They're only at 1 health, so I'm not going to target anything with the missile. I'm going to target the engine with the burst laser. Even if these shields come back up, we should be able to get 1 hit away. Yeah, and they're gone. But we took 1 damage from a missile that had already fired. So we've got 23 scrap, 2 fuel and 1 drone, that's okay. We'll heal up this oxygen before they go without. Back to stations and we're good to go. So I want to check that there's no shop nearby, because the other thing we could do if there's no shop is spend our scrap on upgrading shields to level 2 and reactor to level 2, and we'll be a little bit safer. The distress signal is coming from a small space station orbiting an uninhabited planet. Their satellite defense system has gone haywire and their repair crew can't approach without being fired on. They're looking for help to fix or disable it. Promise to help. You consider your options. Simply fire on the defense system from a distance, or Engi crew. So blue options are options that we have because of certain things that have popped up. They're not always available. So we have an Engi crew member, so we can remotely repair its targeting system. Crew member is able to remotely fix the glitch in the defense AI, allowing the repair crew to close and finish the job. The station gives you its thanks along with a reward. 31 scrap, which is good, 2 missiles, and a drone part. 138 scrap, this is going really well. I'd love to find a shop, see what they have to offer. If it's anything we want, we'll pick it up, otherwise we'll upgrade our ship. Okay, an unidentified ship is badly damaged and still being assaulted by a space pirate. The victim begins a distress message until the pirate cuts in and offers to split the bounty if you sit tight. We're going to take it, even though it's not really the right thing to do, because I don't like our chances in this fight. And, you know, we're sort of getting paid to avoid any risk. So if we had full hull, we would definitely go after these guys and try to be the hero, but I don't think we're geared for it at the moment. What appears to be a Zoltan science ship requests permission to dock. Well, let's dock. We've been studying the relationship between the species and have determined that the Federation still has potential to be a net positive for the galaxy. Please accept this gift to aid your journey. Okay, 3 fuel and 4 missiles and 12 scrap. This is good. This sector's been really, really good to us. If we can just find a shop, I'll be very optimistic. Alrighty, we've got to fight. A rebel captain appears on the screen. I thought we'd been doomed to backward assignment. This is my chance to get back in command's good graces. Charge the weapons. Same initial strategy. Missile on shields, laser on weapons. Neon pulse imminent. Okay, so we're near this blue planet here. It's going to take down one of our systems, or 2 of them. We've lost our shields for a little bit, and also our sensors. They've lost piloting and weapons. Well, weapons were down anyway. Let's fire. We've got a lot of missiles now from our last few stations. So let's hit missiles on drones and laser on shields again. Four missiles a drone, but only 13 scrappers to surrender, or we can wipe them off the planet of the Earth, off the face of the Earth? Yeah, face of the Earth. So we won't accept surrender. We use our laser again here, park the missile unless we need it. We probably will use it just to get this done and get away from this Eon blast, but let's see how the laser goes. If we can hit all 3 hits, they're going to go down. Yep, perfect. Saved a missile again. We've been good with our resources so far, which is good. We only got 18 scrap anyway, we probably could have just accepted, but we had no way of knowing that. Up to 180 scrap, which I'm really happy with. Just need a store. Intruders on board. Okay, there's only 2 of us, so hopefully there's not more than one of them. Until you're able to jump away from this station, your sensors will be disabled. Deal with the boarders first. Okay, well I've got absolutely no idea where they are, how many of them there are. There's 4. 5, wow. Okay, let's use doors. Open this section up completely. I'm pretty much just going to try and make a stand in the med bay. I don't even know how that's going to go with 4 of them. They can only fit 3 of them in here, so we should be okay. Let's see how this goes. 2v3, but we're getting healed. I think this will be fine. I think this is how we want to play it. I'm even going to open this up before we lose doors, so that this is the only room with oxygen on the ship. They have to fight us here, and they have to lose here. So we're going to take 1 out. Now, this is working fine. They're getting trained up in fighting a little bit as well, which is good. Okay, another one's going down. There should be 3 of them left. So the third one will probably pile in here in a second when he realizes he can't breathe. Another one goes down, 2 left. One left, I think, but it's a bit weird that he's not suffocating. Kind of want to have a peek. Oh, no, I don't. No, there's no way there can be anyone left alive. Okay. So we're going to close all doors. No, we're not. We're going to repair doors quickly, even though they're going to take a bit of damage, then we're going to get back into the med bay. And we're going to close all doors, which is going to let oxygen distribute amongst the ship again. Then I want to get sensors fixed so that we can check if there is some dude. I don't think there could be possibly anyone left on the ship without oxygen, but I only counted 4 kills, so I don't know if I just missed one. We are up to 40 minutes, so if this run manages to survive like another 10, I'll probably stop the video and put the second video up as a part 2. Because I want to be careful of how long these sort of videos run for. Alrighty, return to stations. Everything seems to be in order. We took a little bit of damage, but we're not doing too bad. Bit upset. I'm hoping one of these three is going to be a store. So there we go. Oh, not an asteroid field. You arrive in an asteroid field and are greeted by a Zoltan guard. By attempting to access these closed mining fields, you're in violation of the Natural Mineral Protection Act. The weaponry will be confiscated for processing. You don't have time for this. Alrighty. So they've got mind control and they've just taken over our engine guy, and they're now trying to destroy our engine. So this isn't good, because what happens is the asteroids that are always coming in do damage to the shield, and that means that their weapons basically get a free hit. They've got this green shield, which is a super shield. I need to take down their shields as quickly as I can so that they can suffer sort of the same impact that we're suffering. Their shields are down, so now they're susceptible to asteroids as well, but our shields are impacted here too. This is really not going well, but I think they're going to go down. We just need to work out how we're going to get out of here. Okay, so shields are coming back up. 20 scrap, 1 fuel, 1 drone, but we're down to just 3 health. Shields are going to get back up, and then we're going to get everyone back to stations. We just need our... it's okay. We just need our pilot. We just need to charge this, and we need to jump. Oh no, we're gone. We're gone. We've got 1 health left. Unless this can charge before we get hit. I don't think it will. I think an asteroid's going to come in any second, and that's the end of our run. We could have almost got out of there, and to be honest with you, that's one of the situations where if we had 2 or 3 crew people, we could have had someone healing the shields and someone charging or piloting so that we could get out of there. It's a little hard with 2. I probably didn't play it as well as I could have, but there was only the two crew members, so sort of had my hands tied a little bit there. I hope you guys have enjoyed this first video. It's gone a little longer than I thought. Like I said earlier, I would really appreciate any comments, any feedback, either positive or constructive. And if you want to have a crew member named after you, or you have a creative name for the ship, leave your comment down below. And also sort of tell me what you would like us to target for our next video, because I'm happy to sort of, if you guys say, oh, you should go for a boarding ship, and we can try and get a boarding ship set up so that we go and fight and capture enemy ships. You don't capture them, but you can wipe them out and you get a big scrap bonus. Or we can go for mind control or cloaking. So any FTL veterans out there who have something in mind, feel free to put your suggestion in the comments as well. Gonna hit stop on the recording now. So once again, thanks so much for checking out my first video. And if anyone out there is watching and would like to leave feedback, please do hit the like button. Thank you. Bye.